Welcome to the second edition of the Forward Pass. This is Charlie Mill. I'm with Sam Perry, Luke Duska, and Caleb Archer from all around the country. Fellas, tell us where you are.
I'll go first. Here in Middle Georgia, Macon, Georgia to be exact. 2 weeks going strong, 3 years to go. So living the dream.
What's up? I'm live from Austin, Texas. Um, Doing well. Saw a little concert last night. Um, Pumped to dive into some NFL today. And we got one more week, fellas.
Fresh
Football's
off a
back.
date as well, if you guys didn't know. Fresh off a
That is
date.
true. That is true.
Yeah, lucky woman.
So
Should we do a date
she
recap
is.
Yeah.
at some point in the
How was
pod?
it?
Yeah,
Hey,
maybe towards the end.
Starbucks.
It was
I heard
it was a
Starbucks.
great there was Starbucks this morning. We did a little dinner Tuesday night.
Hmm.
Went to a bar, like a girly bar after.
Nice.
Some
Couple
cocktails, a couple
yeah.
beverages, some good conversation. And yeah,
Gentlemen.
friends group, mutual friends too. So we've been with each other a good amount. Things are going well.
Gamecock as
So
well, right?
she's a
Gamecock?
fellow cock. Yep,
Yeah,
she's a fellow cock.
Gamecock.
That's important.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
It's a
you're
big.
good.
She asked me what I thought about the AP poll, which was big.
Yeah.
She's also low on Clemson this year too. If you guys were wondering.
Mm. We'll have to
And
get her on the pod.
I'm coming in live from sunny Elon, North Carolina. Nice Sunday. Still in the middle of training camp, so we're working through that. Got season kicks off in 11 days in Durham, North Carolina. So we're working towards that.
And I am in Indiana, Pennsylvania, in the middle of training camp for IUP. Season kicks off September 4th. Ashland comes to town. So, yeah, just a Midwestern
Game of the year.
battle. Yeah, huge opener. But yeah, we'll get this thing rolling, and we'll kick it to Sam first. We're both wearing our Steelers jerseys. Me in the Palomalo, Sam in the TJ Watt.
I got the TJ Watt block.
Yeah,
Limited
huge.
edition.
And
Can't find that out at your local Dick's.
Perry, I would like you to just start us off with some Steeler propaganda, if you will.
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to sound like a homer, but it's going to come off like I'm a homer. But I am so high on the Steelers this year. Here's why. I think I've been saying this a lot. I think that the Steelers have had this similar outlook and roster since that Jaguars game in 17 with just a middling offense and a defense good enough to win you regular season games. But when it comes to December and January, they can't get over the hump. So the reason that I'm high on them is because of this. They changed shit up finally. They actually went out, got a quarterback. Granted, he's old, but I think that you throw spaghetti on the wall and hope it sticks. I mean, like you have a chance with 8 in some of these games. He's going to give you a better chance than Mason, better chance than Russ. This defense, if everything clicks, could be like very elite come December and January. But what I'm just excited about, I think they're just an exciting team. They changed stuff up a lot. There's going to be some opportunities for wins down the stretch. And the other thing too is if it all blows up, then we'll be drafting high in Pittsburgh in April for Lenoir's.
Arch, what do you think about that?
I mean, I did laugh at the fact that it has like genuinely been the exact same roster for 8 years, which is kind of like improbable. That like you change guys, they're still the same. Like you could change like a quarterback, like for example, you change Russ to A-Rod, and it's just like kind of this, like it's just like the epitome of consistency, and it's just yeah. No, I'm not a hater of the Steelers by any means, but it's also just hilarious how they've been able to like string it together like that from year to year.
Okay, I guess I'll kind of I'll give you my Steeler take. I'm lower on the Steelers than Sam, but I've been low on the Steelers for a while now. But I was trying to think like let's get into the roster first. The roster breakdown at first is like, okay, the defense is pretty good. Darius Slade, Jalen Ramsey, Joey Porter Jr. That gives you like three above average starting defensive backs. I don't believe any of them are elite anymore. Jalen Ramsey's probably a little outside of his prime, but he is a good nickel. He can tackle. That's going to add like versatility to our defense. I really like Peyton Wilson, NC State second year. He flies
He's going
around.
to take a huge sophomore
Him
leap.
and Pat Queen, really good linebacker play. Then you got Cole Holcomb coming off an ACL. That at least
He'll
gives
be
you some
back.
depth to that position. The Derek Harmon draft pick in the like not a flashy draft pick in the first round. I think he'll be pretty good just in the defensive line. So TJ Watt, Derek Harmon, Keanu Ben, Cam Hayward is like your defensive line. I think that's going to be pretty good.
Cam
Like
Hayward's a
top
big
10.
get.
Yeah. The problem is the offensive line. When you look at the roster and you think, is Broderick Jones going to be a top 20 offensive tackle? And like if he is at his side, which I believe, what's he playing? Is he playing left this year?
Left tackle.
Yeah, he's playing
They're
left this
bringing him
year.
back.
So is he going to be top? He needs to be top 20 to top 15 in order for this roster to go. And I don't know if I see that. Duska, we'll get into that. But I do like Isaac Sayamalo. It's like, all right, vet, guard. Mason McCormick and Zach Frazier is really good at center. And then Troy Faltanu, you hope he's pretty good at right tackle. Auxiliary playmaking outside of DK Metcalf, you're also like, is Robert Woods going to be good this year? Kenneth Gainwell, Calvin Austin, like
Roman Wilson?
Roman Wilson. So
You're
you have like auxiliary. Let me finish, Sam. You have auxiliary players. You lose Minka, which is big, but we got Juan Thornhill from the Browns who started for them last year. He's above average to average. Deshaun Elliott was decent for us last year at safety. So I just kind of went down through the whole roster. Like you lose Najee, but you gain um the guy Caleb Johnson from Iowa. They're kind of similar play styles. And then I do think Warren was better than Najee anyway, so he's like more of your playmaker. But I was thinking like, hey, where have we seen this work before? Because that's kind of the framework I use to judge like NFL teams. Like you got to see like a blueprint that has worked like this before. And I went back and the blueprint that worked was 2009 Vikings with 40-year-old Brett Favre. You had Adrian Peterson, you had Sidney Rice, Antoine Winfield Sr. at safety, and Jared Allen. They went to the NFC Championship game and lost. I do think that's kind of the Steelers' ceiling. Like, I don't think I don't think this team will win a Super Bowl. I think the very max that this team goes is we're the NFC, we're like the Vikings of '09. Like, Rodgers kind of has it because Favre was coming off a bad year with the Jets, goes to the Vikings, like, has kind of a good year and has like talent around him. Good coaching staff. What say you guys?
Charlie, I think you. I think a thing about the Steelers is that there's a really underrated piece in that offense, and it's just not getting talked about that much. You didn't even bring it up, but Jonnu Smith being a kicker in that Jalen
Are
Ramsey
you
trade.
serious? Is
Listen,
that really the piece? Like, is John Smith?
no, it's not the piece, but what people like. So last year, Jonnu Smith had 888 receiving yards, 884 receiving yards.
Mhm.
He would have been second on the Steelers last year in receiving yards, total receiving yards, behind Pickens. So now I think with him and DK and hopefully the emergence of Roman Wilson, hopefully, I mean, he looked good yesterday. It just gives the offense a little bit more juice. I also read that he's been taking snaps at running back, which is interesting.
To
I
say the
don't know how
least.
that could go. He has a, I don't know if you guys remember, he scored a touchdown against the Texans a couple of years ago when he was on the Titans at running back when they had Arthur Smith. So I think that Johnny Smith is another weapon for this offense that's not getting talked about that much. But I think the catalyst of the offense is going to be Broderick Jones because if he's able to step up and be what they thought they were going to get with him, that will open up the running game a lot more and just help us build the trenches, which has been a massive issue the last couple of years.
Duska chime in here.
I mean, as far as Broderick being top 15 left tackle, like, I mean, I think that's a long shot just based off of his body of work in the NFL so far. I think, like, is he naturally better on the left side? Like, maybe. So, like, you could see a little bump in performance there. But I think it's going to take a lot for him to be like in that upper echelon of tackles. I think he'll definitely improve. Like I think through time, naturally, like you're just gonna get better if you get more reps under your belt. So like I would be excited about the fact that he'll be better than he has been, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to step into that like tier three, even like tier four, like serviceable. Um, well, he'll be serviceable. Tier four, where like you're above average and like you don't lose that much, which is kind of what the Steelers need, especially with Rodgers' mobility. Um, I think that is one of the reasons to be generally low on the Steelers. I don't hate like I like that you have fan optimism, Sam. Like I would be the same exact way if the Eagles were in the Steelers situation. Um, but I mean, a lot of people have talked about his age, and I think for good reason. He's 2 years off an Achilles, and I just don't know. It's hard to see like someone his age, um, like having enough, like Tom Brady excluded, having enough to like get through like the slog of the NFL schedule and then like make it out and be productive in the playoffs. And if they make the AFC Championship, like it'd be pretty surprising, I think. But
Yep.
I mean, I like the optimism.
No, I don't.
I think
I don't think they're gonna make the AFC Championship. But I was just saying, like that is like
That's like the
that's what they're
ceiling.
trying to
Yeah,
copy. They're trying to be the '09 Vikings.
yeah,
I think like if we win a playoff game, like Steelers fans should be so excited, like so excited. If we win a playoff game, it's like massive success.
yeah.
Throw a parade.
I
Like,
agree.
yeah,
I think
like
there's like a young core that like the Steelers have been developing, especially like trench wise. Like at least like there's some upside and like future potential that like they've been developing. Like you need Broderick to pan out, but there's some pieces like you start inside out. So like that's like at least there's that aspect. And like if they're bad this year, like at least they have that to fall back on. So I mean, there's some stuff
I
there for
think
the Steelers.
I think they're trying to do a little bit of what the Eagles did back when they kind of just inserted Jalen Hurts. I think the plan, in my opinion, I think the plan will be to like build this trenches. You sign DK, you have a couple weapons, hopefully Roman Wilson, this young O line, young D line, and then hopefully just kind of insert a quarterback and not have them have to do all that much like they did with Big Ben in '03 and '04. So I think that would be I think the a success for this season might not be measured as much by winning playoff games or making a deep run. I think a success this season would to be to see that O line take that next step up, to see that D line develop, and hopefully like Roman Wilson emerging would be huge. Caleb Johnson getting reps. I don't think they're going to lean on him that much. Is what I'm seeing out of camp is that they're going to be heavily relying on Jalen Warren and letting Caleb Johnson kind of just ease his way in, especially at the beginning of the season.
I think I'm gonna kick it next. So I think we've kind of hit the Steelers and an organization that I see kind of similar to the Steelers, but they're down a tier. So this team, I would say they're they went from they were in the frisky 8 and 9 team club, and I think now they're in the if it all goes right, we might win a playoff game club. That being the Atlanta Falcons. Let me give you my Falcons take, Arch. Their back end is awesome. They have an awesome DB room. Fuller, Bates, AJ Terrell, Mike Hughes. I really like their back end. I don't know why you don't like him, but I really like him.
Community.
Yep, immunity. I own a hotel and 2 restaurants on Drake London Island. I love how he plays. The way he moves for a 6'5" receiver is like unheard of. He literally moves like a basketball point guard. Um, and then a lot of this, but I do have a lot of the same questions about the Falcons that I do the Steelers, which is like the lines are just flipped. Instead of the O line being the problem, I think like is the Falcons D line going to be good enough to win the NFC South? Leonard Floyd, they need a lot from Leonard Floyd and James Pierce. They need to kind of like they really are leaning on Leonard Floyd and James Pierce to be very good because that D line is not all that talented or special. So what say you to everything I just said about the Falcons?
Is it back or
Yeah,
no?
you're good.
Oh, you're good.
You're
All
back.
right, let's hear the
You're
Falcons.
back.
Crystal clear, Arch.
Crystal clear, Arch. Here we go.
Yeah. So to start, I'll address the back end immunity in the corners and safeties room. I think Jesse Bates is probably the bias, but I'm going to say he's the best safety in the NFL. So obviously, yeah, AJ Terrell is great, except if he plays the receivers that are the archetype like DK Metcalf and George Pickens, which I mean, there's only a few of them in the NFL. You'll take that. Mike Hughes actually surprised me last year. Liked him a lot. D. Alford, our nickel, terrible, the worst. Almost basically lost us that Commanders playoff game, or regular season, basically a playoff game because it was a play-in. He gets cooked no matter who's guarding. They're gonna go off. We drafted that guy out of Oklahoma, Billy Bowman. I suspect by week 3 he will be the starting nickel. Yeah, D line, really not a lot to go crazy about. I mean, Zach Harrison will be a good first 2 downs edge or D end.
Foley's boy, by the way.
Yeah, allegedly. A lot of guys, it's like you're gonna need the steps from Leonard Floyd. I mean, you kind of just replaced your same like Matt Judon, kind of the same as Leonard Floyd, just like these like oldish edge rushers, which Matt Judon was great for 3 weeks and then he just mailed it in. So hopefully we get a full season out of Floyd. Defense, not exactly the most exciting thing in the world to look at, but I think there's definitely some room to grow. High ceilings out of Ebiketie, hopefully, the year 4 jump. I mean, Penn State product, it's about time. And then, like you said, James Pierce. I mean, I suspect him to have a big rookie season. He's been dominating at camp, so and he's got the edge and the fire that the Falcons really haven't had in a while. Where he's like just like a gritty guy. He'll fight somebody if he got into fights all the way during camp, and I feel like we've had the nice guys on the D line for a while, so hopefully it's a good change of pace. To the offense, I feel like the ceiling is as high as they make it. I mean, I think you have like 4 or 5 really competent pass catchers. You have a quarterback that seems competent. 2 great running backs. O-line is probably as serviceable as you can get without being like a great O-line. Run blocking, we're pretty good. Caleb McGarry, just bad and pass pro, but I mean, you can live with that. Unfortunately, that is going to be Penix's blind side this year. So if Penix can make it through the season healthy, that means McGarry had a good season. Matthews, just epitome of consistency, like 17 years now, or no, not like probably like 13 or 14 years now. Hopefully Pitts does something. Mooney's been hurt, but we signed some guys. We signed DJ Chark, the old LSU, and he's been around the block. So I'm high on the Falcons. Obviously, I think we're going to win the division. I mean, we should have won the division last year, if not for the incompetency of the organization and quarterback position for 5 weeks. But
we beat the Super Bowl champs, though.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's no big deal, though. We always beat the Eagles.
Not in the 2017 playoffs.
Well, it's different. It's different, bro. But yeah, I think the Falcons is really the ceiling's as high as you make it. I love our offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson. Great. D coordinator last year was Jimmy Lake. They fired him, rightfully so. Should never have been hired. And then we just hired our Falcons D coordinator retread from like 5 years ago. Because we can't move on. We have to keep going back to the same old people. So maybe the 3rd stint will work. Jeff Ulbrich was the guy, by the way, because he was the Jets interim coach after they fired Saleh for no reason and then proceeded to do worse with Ulbrich. So not a big fan of the coaching staff overall. Raheem Morris, you know my opinions on him. I just think you got to, at this point, the Falcons, if you don't put it together now, you never will, because I feel like this is the time that you should be taking the next steps. And if not, we'll be probably looking for a new head coach next year and probably a new GM, which would be nice, music to my ears, and then probably a new owner because who knows what's going to happen to him. So that's my opinions. I think if you don't win the division, it's a failed year. And I think if we don't win at least a playoff game, it's going to be a disappointment, in my opinion, based off of how the progression has been year to year and what's been expected. So what is y'all's opinions on that?
I think the Falcons will be a frisky. I think they'll win the division too. I think it's a toss-up, but I think they get to play the Bucks early, kind of at the right time with the Bucks like losing Tristan Wirfs. And I think Jalen McMillan got hurt too. So I mean that's to their advantage. I think also 2018 week 1 Arch NFL opener. Eagles rolled out the Super Bowl trophy. It's okay. They won that game too. I was there. I think, but like I was saying, I think they're frisky. They can definitely surprise someone if they as a division winner in the playoffs. One underrated piece, I think, Arch, about the interior offensive line that I like with Newsel stepping in at center is they go 63, 64, 65 from right to left.
Mhm.
I think that's an enjoyable, aesthetically pleasing piece of the team.
I mean, that's half the battle with O-lines having your right number.
Yeah, exactly. So they got the right guys in the right spots.
Yeah.
Lindstrom and Matthews are, I think they're two of the most underrated guys in the NFL. So I think they'll run the piss out of the ball and then let Penix open it up over the top to some of the weapons. So I think the Falcons are going to be good.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, can I one question real quick, Duska? What's your opinions on Matt Bergeron, the left guard?
I think Berger. I've watched like a few games just to like get a feel. I wanted to see like what News'll look like too
Mhm.
with Lindstrom and like in that interior piece. Like I mean, he's still young. Like I think he looks solid. Like he's looked a lot better than like the Eagles signed Kenyon Green this offseason, who's another like early selection guy.
Yeah.
To see if like he could play guard. I think like he's like a couple tiers above that level. I think he's solid, and I think
Mhm.
like. I mean, he's just going to keep getting better. He's still young, so
Yeah. I think he was
I'm excited about that interior three.
absolutely. I think he was an underrated draft piece, and his year one was kind of shaky at times, is what you expect whenever you got a kind of a project left guard that starts instantly just because he
Yeah,
has to. But I think he did some good steps last year. I mean, we
I
did
mean
lose.
that pays off like in the
Yeah,
long run too.
we did
Like
lose
look
Drew
at
Dahlman, but he was grossly overpaid to go to the Bears because I think whenever Newsel came in, whenever Dahlman got hurt, there was
Newsel
really
solid. Yeah,
there was no drop off. So it's like, why would you pay
yeah,
15 million for a center? We'll let the
I
Bears
agree.
do that and hope they can get it right with their quarterback.
so the Falcons record since 2018. So 2018, since 2018, 7-9, 7-9, 4-12, 7-10, 7-10, 7-10, 8-9.
Hmm.
So they've been just historically
Pillar of
good.
consistency.
Yeah, pillar of just below average consistency. So we'll see. I just like the lefty Penix. I'm
Hmm.
kind of into him. Now, the one thing that like freaks me out about Penix is, and for no fault of his own, usually only 50% of the draft class is good, and it feels like Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, and Drake May are all good, and then like Caleb and him are also like if like all five of them are good, that would just be like historically like improbable and like maybe the first time ever that all the first round quarterbacks were just awesome. So that's like a math thing. But I really like how he spins it, lefty QB. Him and Drake London are gonna be a nuisance for like the Saints secondary. Like my
Mhm.
goodness, like
Let's
strap
not
in.
forget the Kyle Pitts breakout season
I mean, it's year
inbound
five.
as well. Yeah,
It's coming.
it's now or never. Come
Yeah,
on.
Well,
yeah. Johnu Smith or Kyle Pitts, Sam? Who we taking?
I have a fantasy draft this week. Um, I also think on the Falcons too. I think a big thing is that division being pretty soft
Ass.
in regards to like just other divisions. And also
especially
I'm looking right
defensively
now.
soft.
Right, I'm looking right now. They have like other websites have it differently, but around the fourth to the sixth easiest schedule this year, SOS wise. So that's big. I could see a big sophomore um, progression from Penix and kind of similar. Like you're going to have a chance now. There's a lot higher of a ceiling with the Falcons this year than in years past because you have Penix. You have a lot more offensive weapons. Can the defense grit you out some big time games? Maybe sneak up on someone, kind of like what the Commanders did to the Lions this year in the playoffs. Could that happen in the divisional or something like that? I don't know, but a lot more optimism in Atlanta than in years past.
Best backup in the league too. You never know when that like needs to come in to play.
Mason Rudolph.
Tanner McKee.
Untrue. Kirk is
Yeah.
yeah.
Depends
You
uh,
what
see,
perk you get, but I would agree.
I
The
mean
highest
health.
paid backup for damn sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
$50 million. But
Wow. Okay, so now we will flip to Super Bowl champs of 2024, the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm looking down the roster, and it's the quote I said was like, they just look damn good. There are very few holes. They lose C.J. Gardner-Johnson, but I think Cindy Brown starts right now, but Andrew Makuba is so good. so I really liked him like coming out of Clemson in Texas. So like you kind of just reload there. You did lose Avonte Maddox, tough one.
Hmm.
But no, I'm all seriousness. Like the D line looks awesome. Azeez Ojulari, a backup. I don't mind that. Like he's kind of a frisky backup to Nolan Smith. But yeah, this Tyler Steen, right guard. Um, I like, I mean, everything about the Eagles is just really good. Two great receivers. Will Shipley will be the second back now. Like, so pretty much you just let your depth rise to the top. And once, like for some of the, you lost Kenneth Gainwell, lost C.J. Gardner Johnson. Am I missing somebody that you also lost?
Slay,
Huh? Slay.
Big
Slay,
play
yeah.
Slay. How are they going to
Yes.
replace Darius Slay?
Yeah.
That's
Adoree
the number one
Jackson is
question this
Makai, they
offseason
lost
for me.
Makai Becton too. I don't know if you said him.
Oh yeah, that's why Tyler Steen. Yeah, I'm saying Tyler
Yeah,
Steen. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they look really good. I think they're gonna win the NFC. I think like they're just a little bit too much for everybody in the NFC.
I mean, I can wax poetically about the Eagles for a few minutes. I mean, these are all there's a few storylines like training camp wise, off season heading into training camp. Uh, I would describe them all as first world problems. Like you said, like the roster's pretty stacked. There's a lot of continuity from the team last year, and I think that team, the 24 Eagles, that was a team that when they were at 100%, once they got things into gear after that bye week, like nobody beat them when they were at 100%. The only loss they suffered was the Jalen Hurts concussion game, where Kenny Pickett threw a dime to Devontae Smith and he dropped it, and they almost beat the Commanders in that one too. Um, I think a couple big storylines. Landon Dickerson got hurt in a practice last week. I think that's pretty significant. He's probably a top 5 player on the team. Reports are that he'll probably make it back by the beginning of the season. So hopefully that comes to fruition because, like I said earlier, they signed Kenyon Green, who also got hurt. He's not that good either. So there's not really a lot there. There's not as much O-line depth as there was last year with Steen being the next man in, and then they had Fred Johnson too, who both departed. So not having depth there could come to bite them. Like Tyler Steen started the NFC Championship game. That was huge, underrated aspect. Like you could have a guy that came in and plugged and was basically just plug and play.
N'Kobe
Um,
Dean's also out right now, but they have
yeah,
Jihad
so they have
Campbell.
Jihad Campbell, they have Jeremiah Trotter Jr. So like there's guys that they can put in those spots who are unproven. I think Jihad Campbell will be really good once he gets reps under his belt. Um, and then the other big storyline is the second corner position, the second outside corner position. Um, Arch's favorite, Keely Ringo, was slotted as like he was supposed to be the guy, but throughout camp he hasn't been able to define himself as the person that should be in that spot.
What a
He's
shock.
competing with Adoree Jackson. And then they also signed Jacorian Bennett, who's on the Raiders, I think, last year. So there's like a 3-man rotation, a lot of questions surrounding that area. But like I said, first world problems, like up and down. If you look up and down the roster, it's stacked. I think it's the best O line in the league. Um, like they can get home with Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Zach Bond is a top 3, top 4 linebacker, and then Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, Reed Blankenship, like that 3 being consistent in the secondary, like it doesn't matter um, who you kind of slot in that second corner spot, and then like you said, Makuba, he's probably going to be a baller. Like he played really well in their preseason game yesterday, so there's not really a lot of holes and. Um, I mean, it's just a really good team. It's like it's a good time to be an Eagles fan. I feel kind of spoiled. They've kind of always been good my whole like fan existence. I didn't have to sit through like all the rough times. But yeah, I mean, obviously I'm excited about this season, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. There's really just not that much to say about the
Yeah, there's
Eagles.
not much to say.
It's
Yeah.
like wow, they're just a put
Yeah.
together squad. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess
They're
like
a
one
machine.
one storyline is just like Howie Roseman, Fordham Law legend. Like,
Yeah. Also, oh, I forgot Kevin Patullo too. So like they have a new OC. So
yeah,
I mean, you want him to prove himself. Like the Eagles have replaced coordinators in the Sirianni era in the past, and it hasn't gone fantastically. So we'll want to see early if Patullo kind of he kind of just is. If he can be Kellen Moore, like that's all we need. So we'll see.
You also got Buford and UGA legend Montgomery Van Gorder as your new QB's coach. So,
Perfect.
yeah, he's my the guy that used to go to Bowling Green and he went to UT Chattanooga. It's his older brother. So he's a genius. I mean, he'll probably be the head coach in a few years when Sirianni gets fired, but until then,
Relax.
he'll just
Sirianni, IUP legend.
is he really?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's all over the boards.
Wow, most notable alum is that it? Is that him? Or is there
Signetti?
more?
Yeah, Sigs.
Oh, true.
Tony Trish.
But all right, sweet. We'll take a
Yeah,
short
we-
break here.
Okay.
We're back with the Forward Pass Pod. We're gonna start with our division predictions. I'll go first. We'll start with the AFC East. I got the Bills. Is anybody not in agreement with that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna get fancy.
I got the Bills.
Okay,
I got the Bills.
but I want to I just want to go on a quick diatribe. I was wondering who are the best quarterbacks that had to not win a Super Bowl that are better than Josh Allen. The only one you could say, in my opinion, is Dan Marino, which we never got to watch. But of like the oldies, like guys we never saw play, Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, Fran Tarkenton, Warren Moon, and Dan Fouts never won Super Bowls. And then modern, it's Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, Carson Palmer, Steve McNair, and Donovan McNabb are probably the next batch of guys that didn't do it. Josh Allen's better than all of those guys. But here's another thing I have. So I actually I had the Bills going deep this year, and I want to read you a comparison. This comparison is between Josh Allen and Nikola Jokic.
Mm.
Is anybody intrigued?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
You have me
sir.
hooked.
Okay.
Explain more.
Okay. Both are white.
A good start.
One went to Wyoming, which if you made Europe, the 50 states in America versus the 50 countries in Europe, Wyoming and Serbia are one and the same. Year 8, Jokic won his first championship. This is Josh Allen's year 8. They physically impose their will on the game. They've been a top 3 player in the world for the past 5 years. They're part of above average organizations, but nothing truly special around them. Mike Malone, the coach that Nikola Jokic had, Loyola Maryland grad, Sean McDermott, William and Mary grad, Loyola, William and Mary, like
PCL grad.
similar type of thing. And then both had early career like stigmas, one being running back and the other being hype merchant early in their career. So year 8 seems to be like the year in this case. There's not many quarterbacks that are ever better than Josh Allen that haven't won a Super Bowl. The window is the next 5 years. So that's my Bills. That was my Bills comparison. Does anybody like the Jokic Allen comparison, or I'm too off base?
Just two guys that play the game the right way. They just do what they're told. They just, first guy in, last guy out. Toughness, grit, just determination.
Is Jokic a Philo guy? Is he? I feel like he's a last in last.
Nah,
first out
he's
guy.
a Philo guy, dude.
They're both guys you'd want your daughter to take home that is like a boyfriend. Just like awesome.
Why is that, Arch?
It's like I told you. I already said guys play the game the right way. There's something about it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like your. They call Wyoming the Serbia of the West.
The Serbia of the West, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I like it. I guess modern, like, I think that Allen was like leaps and bounds better than a lot of those guys that you mentioned, like in that Rivers conversation. I think the only one that you could actually make an argument for, I would hear it. I don't know if I fully agree, would be Burrow as of now.
True. Yeah, true.
But I don't want to get too off track here. I just don't see a world where the Bengals get over the hump with their roster. Like with the way that their roster is built. It's like I view them in the same. Sorry, this is bad. I view them in the same boat as like Edmonton, the Oilers, a little bit. When you have all this money tied up into like four players, where you're so top heavy, and when it like comes down to it, they can't win massive games.
Edmonton's far in a better spot than the Bengals, though. Edmonton's been in the cup the last 2 years. Like the Bengals
But they're not getting
are,
over. They can't win when it
they're
matters.
reeling. No, I agree. The Bengals are just in a far worse situation than Edmonton, organizationally. I
No,
mean,
I agree.
they're, I mean,
I'm just saying like
they
the
disregarded the
fact
one
that
side of the ball.
yeah, so did I mean Edmonton kind of addressed it this year, but
Mhm. Off topic, but
off topic. But do you see my little nugget comparison?
I
I'll
see
add to
that.
your
I see
parallel
that.
too. I think another thing that is not in Josh Allen's favor, especially as like the last few years, the competitiveness of the AFC as well. I think like that's where all of the best quarterbacks are centralized. Like you can that's similar in the NBA. Like I think it's
The
hard to get
West.
out of the West. Yeah, like it's just I mean, I think it's inevitable that at some point I think the Ravens are in the same boat too. I think the Bills and the Ravens like they both get over the hump at some point. It's just like you'd think these like stacked teams and like with wide open windows, like top three quarterbacks in the NFL, you'd think these teams like these windows they should win a few championships. But I think like the reality of this era, at least, especially with Mahomes, is like these guys might just both end up winning like one Super Bowl each. One of them might one could have like a Dan Marino career where they don't get over the hump. And I think that's just like that's the reality of the AFC now.
That's even how it was in the old like when the Patriots were at their peak. When I mean Ben only won like only Ben won two. Like even that 05 year he didn't really do anything. But
Peyton only won two.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
like
you'd
these
think a
guys
guy like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like these are guys
like
you'd
that.
think would win
I mean,
multiple Super
Philip
Bowls.
Rivers was like awesome. Like
Yeah.
those San Diego teams
Yeah,
were awesome.
what was it when they had like the number one scoring offense and like
Ah,
the number
Antonio
two scoring
Gates,
defense,
Ladainian
and they like
Tomlinson,
didn't make the playoffs?
they were
Yeah.
awesome. And the Baby Blues, like they should have
Oh, I
won.
like their dark blues now.
Oh, they
You
were
like those?
both cool, both super cool.
You guys got to follow that Instagram account that I've been sending you. That guy's a freaking like nut. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Uh,
I enjoyed
all right,
It's such a
next.
what is
good
it?
like 2 minute
Uniform
read.
Megami?
Yeah,
Yeah, he does like
Yeah.
uniform content. Like what's like that the most unemployed thing ever.
AFC North. I got the Ravens, sadly.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I don't
likewise.
think there's a lot to be said about the North.
I go
Maybe one
Ravens.
wild card team.
I think there's a storyline of I think that whoever's going to finish like whoever finishes second will make a wild card, but I don't see three teams getting in just because of how much carnage happens in the North.
The AFC West, I think, is getting three teams in, and I think the North gets two, and I think and then I think the East and the South are one bid. Like you got to win the division. We'll see though. The
I'm
Patriots could.
excited to hear your little what you think about three teams out of the West.
AFC West, I have the Chiefs winning it.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too. I mean, I've talked to you guys about Josh Simmons before. He was my OT1 dating back to like 2023. So like the fact that he fell to the Chiefs, that's kind of just the rich get richer. Also, I think like there was a lot of Chargers hype, and I think it's kind of diminished by Rashawn Slater going down.
Mhm.
Like I don't even know if they're a playoff team now. Just I think their powers will be severely diminished. So we'll see.
AFC South, like I guess you have to pick a team, and I'm going the Texans. Does anybody not agree with that?
Yeah, I'll
I
dissent.
don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
Okay,
don't.
sweet. Let's do it.
I think the Jags win. I think there's parallels between the Texans and Jags. Like they both have questions at O-line. Uh, Jags have invested a little draft capital. Like Anton Harrison needs to pan out for them. The Texans lost Laramie Tunsil, so they have to fill that spot. They picked the tackle from Minnesota, or Sari. So there's questions there. They both have young, hungry defenses. Like the Texans have a little more pedigree now with Stroud going into year three. But I'm excited about Liam Cohn. I think that offense could be electrified. And like the Texans they have a little more questions surrounding them. They have a new OC this year, who's a McVay disciple, Nick Cali. So I think they're pretty similar to each other, but I think the Jags, like, I have faith in Liam Cohn, Travis Hunter excitement. I think the Jags will be solid.
I'm with you, Duska. I love the Jags this year. I think that Liam Cohn is going to unlock Trevor Lawrence a little bit. I also love that they just went balls to the wall and went up and got Travis Hunter. I think that with how much draft capital they put into taking him, that he's going to be like a day one, just humongous player on that team. I also like just looking at just the betting odds too. Like you would think they'd be a longer shot to win their division, but they're only at plus 300, which is very like you would think it'd be a little bit higher in like the 5 or 6 range. Just like Vegas wise. The second thing, another thing, their schedule is very, very easy. They start off with Carolina, so that'll be a nice little test, but they should get theirs there. And I'm looking at it, looks like they have the sixth easiest schedule. So, I mean, yeah, like you said, a lot of cracks with the Texans. I think um, there's a lot of optimism. I also see a little bit of a parallel between you guys remember when Doug Peterson kind of unlocked that team a little bit the year that they beat the Chargers in the playoffs. I think Cone will be able to do the same thing. And we see Trevor Lawrence take a big step and they will win the division. I will be taking the Jaggies to win the division
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree
and
with.
be a sleeper team in the playoffs potentially if they get like us in the first round or something, or like the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Sam and Luke. I think the Jags are gonna win it, basically for all the reasons they said. I also think like it's gonna be funny. I think the AFC South is probably gonna be the most interesting division in football this year because I think that like you're gonna like the Colts. I think are just gonna be like just like so meh. Like I think the Texans are probably the best talent wise team, or like all around. But I also think with Cam Ward in the division now, I mean, I think the Titans aren't going to be as bad as people think. I don't see them like being like a. I think they're just going to be like a really frisky like bad team. But I think later in the season, that's going to like when they're playing the division games in week 16, 17, and 18, they could beat some of these teams and then like make it to where in week 18 there's 3 teams still alive for the like final playoff spot, which I think is probably going to happen in the AFC South. And also, you can't understate the impact of a special teams ace like Bray Boy on the Jags now.
Good
It's gonna be
plug.
tough. It's gonna be tough to not have
Great plug.
I mean, a guy that's gonna be on all the special teams units, probably even catching deep balls from Trevor. I mean, can't understate that. So I'm gonna be taking the Jags in the AFC South.
Okay, so that's all of the AFC teams. I like that Jags take. I want Trevor Lawrence to do well. Like I think he's a good player. He was awesome in college too, so I always like to see those guys like pan out. Like he's one of the best college quarterbacks I've ever watched. So, um, NFC Beast, Eagles.
Yep.
Yep.
Beast, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Someone's
see a little
got
regression.
yeah.
I see a little regression coming from the Commanders.
I as well. I as well.
Two good and one score football games because Dan
I was
Quinn
gonna
is
say
notorious for not being good in them at the Falcons.
I
I think the
don't love
Cowboys
like
are go ahead, Sam.
no. I was just gonna say I don't love the Steelers do this shit too. Like when you consistently win these games by these one score games, it's just not sustainable.
I also think that the Commanders were blessed by the Cowboys kind of being a dumpster fire after Dak got hurt. So
They'll be better.
like, there's a little more competition now. I think even the Giants, like they'll be better. Though I don't know if they'll be good, but there's gonna be a little more competition in the division this year. So and like I don't think the Commanders improved like that significantly. So we'll see.
I hate the McLaurin stuff going on right now too.
Yeah, that's terrible too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
McLaurin's
That's just
gone.
Josh Harris. Like that's
Yeah.
what Josh Harris does. He's just bad sports owner.
If
But
McLaurin leaves, you got Debo Samuel, wide receiver one, and
mm.
man, that is bad.
Yeah.
I mean, Debo was horrendous last year with the Niners, so I don't. Yeah, I don't see anything good
I
coming out
like
of the
him.
NFC
I
East.
actually like him in the role where Terry McLaurin is like on the Commanders. Like I like Debo as like, hey, gosh, I just forgot his name. Offensive coordinator, Texas Tech guy, USC.
Kingsbury.
Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury. Like you could see Debo like being like a 400 yard like 500-yard receiver, which is like all they need him to be. But McLaurin, if they don't get him back, like, that's tough. I also think like their defense is due for a little bit of regression. Like they kind of banged on a bunch of like vet guys, like vet minimum. Like I don't think Bobby Wagner is going to be an all pro this year. Like,
They lost
Four-year-old
Jonathan
Wagner.
Allen too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, yeah, lost Jonathan Allen. So whatever. There's some stuff there with them. NFC North, I'm super excited for this division. I think this is one of the biggest storylines in the NFL. And so I have a little something for you guys. It's called the snow globe shaking theory. So when you shake a snow globe and everything just goes everywhere, um, I think that the Packers are like the snow globe shaking team if they're good. So I think the snow globe shaking player is Jordan Love. I think he's the most snow globe shaking player in like all of football right now. And I really I really like the Packers. Like um first off, like they always just have like an above average offensive line. Um they got rinsed by injury last year by the time the playoffs rolled around. So I don't think that was like a fair fight. I like their safeties like Xavier McKinney, Evan Williams. Um, I don't know about their corners. They got Nate Hobbs. Do you guys know Nate? He's from the Raiders. He's like above average. Um, and then I like their receivers. They got Matthew Golden from Texas. Sneaky. He's really good. So they already had like Dontavion Wicks from
He cannot
UVA,
catch.
Romeo Dubs, Matthew Golden. Oh, he can catch. Yeah, we'll see about that. I like Quay
Isn't
and
that like
oh,
his main flaw was
no,
that
no,
he
no, no,
like just
no.
can't catch?
He's literally a first round receiver. No, no,
No,
no.
I know, but didn't he have like a big dropping problem, or am I just so wrong?
I don't think you're right. No, not at Texas. Maybe at Houston. Maybe Jaden Reed from Michigan State, and then Quay Walker, Isaiah McDuffie at linebacker. Um, they kind of just fly around. I also like they don't really have an owner, and that makes them like better managed. They don't have a lot of like emotion flowing through the organization. Like they a lot of the times like
He has a drop problem.
they draft, they develop. I don't know if he's Sam. I'm huge on Matthew Golds. Like we'll see. We'll
I
see.
like him a lot, but he does have a drop problem.
We'll see.
I've pointed out his career drop rate as a potential concern.
Potential concern. Uh, sure. Let's say that. But I'm a huge Matthew Golden guy. Um, anyway, but I like the Packs winning the North. I do think the Lions will be good. Like I don't think they're gonna just be the ass all of a sudden. Like I think Jared Goff's will be like he'll be solid. I think like this is kind of his year to be like, hey, are you like a top 10 quarterback or are you just like 12 to 15? Like I don't know. That's kind of like the Josh Allen thing. They do lose both their coordinators, so I think that like limits them like from a Super Bowl ceiling. But
Continuity wise is big.
yeah, but I like the Packers winning this division. The Bears, like I just won't believe it till I see it. And although I do like Ben Johnson, like I don't know. The Bears have to show me. Like they haven't been good like they haven't been good since like Rex Grossman. So, you know.
What if
Uh
like the Bears like what if this like doesn't work? Like
yeah,
where do you go next if
and
you're
the
the Bears?
Vikings, like the Vikings just are starting JJ McCarthy and it's like, well, here we go.
I'm high on the Vikings.
I like the Vikings. I like
I
Yeah.
like the Vikings
The,
too.
the
I think the
Vikings are
think
division's
my
really interesting.
the Vikings are my NFC North champion, actually.
let's hear it.
So I mean, first of all, starting with the Lions, I think I'm just a little hesitant. I think I have a little PTSD from 2023. I watched my team go to the Super Bowl and then they lost both coordinators, and the next year, like replacing one coordinator is tough. Replacing both and hitting on both in the first year, like we saw what happened with the Eagles that year. They completely fell apart. They were a complete disaster. So that's kind of a believe it when you see it type of thing. So I think at minimum they take a step back. I love how the Vikings shored up their interior, both defensively and offensively. They drafted Donovan Jackson, who um, for college football fans, played left tackle after Josh Simmons went down for Ohio State last year and was probably one of the best tackles in the country. So they're going to slot him in at guard. And then they added Will Fries and Ryan Kelly from the Colts in free agency. Fries is a Penn State guy. Just two solid veteran interior offensive linemen who will definitely boost the overall potential of that group. And then they added Jonathan Allen from the Commanders, like we talked about earlier, and Javon Hargrave. So I mean, Sam and Charlie, like you guys are Steelers fans, you know the impact that Hargrave could have on a game. He was awesome on the Eagles when he was there. He's a little older now, but I still think like that veteran presence.
He's like 30, right?
He's like early
Yeah, he's
30s. Like
old.
that's a
No, he's not
position
that old.
though. That's a
Old for
position
like
where
his
it's one of those positions though where you can be a little older and still have a little bit. Like look at Cam Hayward. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's like a top defensive lineman of all time, but
And Hargrave
um,
isn't like the guy. He's like a 30 snap guy. He's not like
yeah,
the
exactly. And
60 snaps.
he's gonna get after the quarterback too, which a little stat from the Vikings last year, their interior defensive line ranked 28th in pressures and 31st in sacks from the interior. So adding Allen and Hargrave, like they're gonna stop the run and then that's two guys that can get to the quarterback as well. So they have prolific edges on defense already. And it's one of those teams where like similar to the 49ers a few years ago, they're built for like now to win now with a younger quarterback. That's kind of like the way they've constructed their roster. So I like all of their pieces outside of quarterback. And then I'm big on Kevin O'Connell. I think you just have to trust him with JJ and they'll be able to run the ball with that restructured O line. They have two of the best tackles in the NFL. So I think there's a lot of pieces there for the Vikings to be excited about. You just need a KOC to get JJ right and we'll see what they can do. Hopefully, well, that's my champion, so we'll see.
Yeah.
So I think the Lions potentially might have peaked last year. Yeah, like I'm a little worried about continuity wise for them. I am going to agree with Charlie on the Packers. I like them coming out of the North. I think it's just another. I think there's a lot of cool storylines in the NFC just because it's kind of a crapshoot outside of the Eagles. Like no one really knows. So it'll be fun to see like the Bears will be an interesting storyline. Who's going to emerge out of the NFC North will be fun. Just checking out the odds right now. It's around the Lions are the favorite around plus 150 to win the division. And then you have the Packers around 250, Vikings around 300 to 350, and then the Bears around 550. So, like you see in that middle group, there's a lot of um, similarities between the Packers and the Vikings. And I do think one of them will emerge. I like the Packers, though, based on what Charlie said. And I'm excited to see Jordan Love take that next step.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Duska and go with the Vikings as mine. Um, basically, I didn't really know who was gonna be the guy whenever you're like who's gonna be the team that kind of emerges. So I kind of just did like it by elimination. And same thing with Chuck. I'll believe it when I see it with the Bears. Not going to get into that. I have so much trouble looking at the Packers after seeing how they kind of ended their season, and like it was pretty uninspiring what they did versus the Eagles. And it's just like their weapons, I like them all, but like it feels like I mean this is without the addition of Matthew Golden because I think he's gonna be really good. But you had a bunch of like wide receiver threes trying to be the alphas, and it's just like doesn't work that way in the NFL. I don't think like you can't just replace guys and like make people in the aggregate in the NFL, especially at like a position like receiver. So that's kind of what made me kind of move away from them. The Lions, I just I think they truly peaked last year, like Sam said. But I feel like they honestly like the best they've ever been was like 2020, late 2023, and then this year, like in 2024. And losing both your coordinators, especially Ben Johnson, because Ben Johnson was an absolute wizard at offense coordinator. I mean, he was a genius. He knew how to call plays, and people have been like kind of criticizing him for the NFC champion or NFC divisional when they lost to the Commanders. Like the simple fact is, it was Jared Goff throwing interceptions and like turning the ball over that kind of made him in that situation. So I think that's going to be hard because I think Ben Johnson masked a lot of Jared Goff's weaknesses. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work. And I chose the Vikings kind of just because I think they have the best group of weapons from the receiver position. I mean, you got Justin Jefferson, like he's 1A or 1B and your best receiver in the NFL with Chase. Like it's whoever you really want. I don't think there's a wrong answer. I think Jordan Addison's good, and I think it's huge. He only got suspended 3 or 4 games for his PEDs or whatever he did. So I mean, you could lose. I mean, they do play the Falcons that time, but other than that, like you losing in week 1 because you don't have Addison is not going to be the reason why you don't make the playoffs. So I think that'll help. I also like they drafted a guy named Tyrone Ingram Dawkins from Georgia, and he's going to be their like second string DN, which I think he was severely underrated at Georgia, and I think he's going to be a star in the NFL. I mean, he's a freak of nature, like athlete-wise, and he knows how to stop the run and also rush the passer. So I think he's going to be on emergence to help a defensive line that Dustin mentioned that was pretty mediocre, that really didn't do anything last year from a pressure standpoint. That's kind of why I'm leaning into the Vikings, but also it was a division where I could see the Lions, Packers, or Vikings winning, and I really wouldn't be shocked.
It's a fun division.
Yeah, super fun. Next, NFC South. it's a toss up for me with the Falcons and the Bucks. I like the Bucks. Baker Mayfield, I think, is the best quarterback in that division. Pretty much it. Like more continuity, coach and quarterback.
I'm gonna go Falcons. Out of that, I don't need to get back into it, but yeah, I'm gonna go Falcons. Sophomore league for Penix. Hopefully, Kyle Pitts unlocked. See what happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Falcons too. I think it's a big advantage if they get to play the Bucks early. I think they'll probably beat them in that head to head, and then it's gonna be close. So I think that'll end up being a pretty significant factor in who wins the division.
Yeah, no secret for me. I'm going with the Falcons. I've been wrong for like 6 straight years, so I think kind of due for a win. Um, yeah, all the reasons why I said earlier, I think they're due for a breakout season on both sides of the ball, and I think that there might be some regression on a Bucks offense to start without Wirfs. So kind of banking on that. Like Dusty said, playing them early, week 1, we play them at home. So if you can steal that one, you only play them one more time in week 15. And if you could sweep the season series against them, I mean, we did it last year and it didn't do anything. But if we could do that this year, then you'd probably be in a much better situation than you would be if you weren't. So I'm going to go with the Falcons, shockingly.
Okay. So the NFC West, super interesting. I'm actually
excited for
gonna
this.
kick it to Sam. You go first.
Yeah, so I don't know what you guys think. I'm gonna go off the radar a little bit. I'm gonna take the Cardinals to
Mm.
come out of the NFC West.
Frisky.
I think the division's in a very just
Bless you, Arch.
transitional state. I just like am not sold on Purdy being able to win meaningful games for the Niners. And then on the Cardinals, I think Jonathan Gannon's like, I mean, they were 4-13 in 2023 and then 8-9 last year. So they've made that big leap under him. I love their defensive haul that they got in the draft with Walter Nolan and Will Johnson, as well as Jordan Birch. So that defense is revamped. Then they start the season off. They play the Saints, the Panthers, Titans, Colts, and Seahawks. So 5 like just very winnable early games to where if they can kind of get into a groove, maybe Kyler Murray gets just soft start. Kyler Murray gets going. They come out of that like 4-1 maybe. Now they're hot. Maybe they have an edge early on in the season, and then come November and December, they're I don't know 7-4. Then they kind of only need to win 3 more games. Looking at the betting odds, I see them at around 450. So they're the third. They have the third best odds to win the division. A lot of value there. I'm excited about it. I think that it'll be a fun little um, high value thing to take. And I just like want to go off the board a little bit. But yeah, I'm going Cardinals to win. That was a long winded answer, but I'm going to go Cardinals.
I'm gonna give you a little interesting. I'm going the Rams. I think they're probably the favorite. Sam, are they the favorite?
Yep, they are the
Okay.
favorite at once. Oh no. The Niners are the favorite at 165. The
Ooh.
Rams are at 175. So
Okay.
basically,
So all right. So they're one of the favorites. The D line super scary. Kobe Turner, Braden Fisk, Jared Verse. A lot of good guys on the D
Byron
line.
Young. Byron Young.
Byron Young. Byron Young. Yeah, I mean, they're really good. They're really good. Best quarterback in the division, best coach in the division, in my opinion. Um, that's really all. I mean, Devontae Adams and Puka as well. The team I think might be sneaky good. So I'm gonna give a little AFC West diatribe, but the Seahawks, I think they're kind of frisky. I think Sam Darnold, JSN, Cooper Cup, JSN and Cooper Cup, they're like pretty much the same receiver. One's mixed, one's white. Like they're blocking, they block, they run good routes, they can beat man coverage, they can sit down in zone, they can play slot, they can play outside. They're very multiple. I think they're going to be in a lot of 12 personnel. So the play action game is going to be very good with Sam Darnold. Mike McDonald, UGA alum. I didn't know that until today. Mike McDonald, UGA alum. I kind of like how he plays defense. They've got pretty good personnel on defense, like Boye Mafe, Ernest Jones, um, Julian Love, Devin Witherspoon. Like they kind of hit a lot on the defensive back. I think Pete Carroll kind of delayed the foundation with the defensive backs, and then like they've just added good pieces. I think they'll be a tougher out. I don't think they make the playoffs, but they're a tougher out. And then the Niners, we'll see. We'll see. They lose Hufanga and Greenlaw. That's a tough loss. Um, Ayuk, Pearsall, CMC, like, do they get it done? I don't know, but I like the Rams to win that division, and I'm excited. I'm curious to see what you guys think about like the Seahawks, Rams. I like the Cardinals. It's frisky, but I want to know what like you two, Arch and Luke, think about anything I just said.
I have the Rams as well. I mean, there's a little question surrounding Matt Stafford right now, but I think he'll be fine. He'll be ready to play by come season time. You mentioned the defense, like they just swarm, and then they've been able to run the ball really effectively the last few years. They've been developing some young interior guys as well. I think Alaric Jackson is one of the more underrated tackles in the NFL, and that just opened things up. They have Devontae Adams now. Puka's a stud, so I just like the Rams roster overall. I like your Cardinals take, Sam. I just don't know. There's a lot of questions I think surrounding that
Yeah,
offense.
totally.
So I mean that's kind of a like we'll see once the season starts, but I don't I think the Cardinals are always frisky and like they're definitely a tough out for every team that they play. Like they're Jonathan Gannon and like the defensive pieces they have, like they're just hard to play against. So I kind of like that take.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with my pick. I think I'm gonna be different than y'all then. So I think we're gonna have three different ones. I'm actually picking the Niners to win the West this year. I think they had a lot of I don't know. The way I kind of see it is it's a lot of bad luck, and it was a very unfortunate season for the Niners last season. A lot of things did not go their way. A lot of injuries built up. I think this year you're going to have. I mean, I'm not the biggest Brock Purdy guy. I don't think he's a world beater. I think he's serviceable with Shanahan, and I mean, Shanahan's a great offensive coordinator. No matter what he does as his head coach debauchery, he's still good. He can call plays, unless you're up by 25 in the Super Bowl, and then he can't. But other than that, he's I think you're going to have some weapons this year. Ricky Pearsall, I think, is going to be a breakout player for them. I really liked his game out of Florida. I mean, he would cook George whenever we played him. And he was the kind of a guy that didn't play as much to start the season, but he was I think he was the 31st pick. So he was the end of the draft guy, end of the first round guy. Didn't play as much, kind of emerged late. And then he had the game against the Lions that he went off for like 150 or something like that with I think it was 2 touchdowns. And I think
The ladder game.
Yeah, it was the infamous ladder. So I think he kind of emerged late as a actual serviceable weapon. I think in this offseason, he didn't get shot in a carjacking incident, so he'll actually be able to play week 1. So that'll be big for him. So I think he'll have a big season. And then I think their defense, I think with Fred Warner, you're going to have a chance, honestly, in basically every single game as a because he's probably the best linebacker in the NFL, I think, or one of them. He's definitely in the top upper echelon. So I think with him, in a defense that's I think they got Saleh, the old Jets coach, as their D coordinator back there again, and I think he's a great defensive mind. So that is why I will be picking them. And also with the Rams, with the Stafford back injury is kind of a scary thing because it could really go off the rails, and then you'd see Kirk Cousins trotting out there for the Rams in Week 7. So.
Well, ban it.
Yeah, or Stats. I mean, the mailman's been lighting it up in the preseason, so we'll see. But that's long-winded to say that I'm going to be taking the Niners, so we'll see.
Arch, there's been a lot of buzz going on about this podcast, and I think that the audience wants to know who the first ladder bet of the year will be.
If we're going to go straight off college football.
NFL.
Ooh. NFL is tough. Probably just Kyle Pitts week 1. He's a Bucks killer. But in a realistic, I'd probably I might just ladder somebody from the Falcons as sacks, like from 1 sack, 2 sacks, 3 sacks, 4 sacks, like James Pierce, and to see what happens. But if I'd actually ladder somebody in the NFL week 1, I think I would take Drake London. Or Ray. It's tough. Ray McLeod's had a good preseason in camp, so I mean, you could convince me on everybody. So
I feel like we'd hold our breath every time he ran back a punt.
Yeah.
True. He was explosive, but he also fumbled.
This podcast will know who the first ladder is. The viewers, do not worry; it will be there.
Okay, ready, guys. Wild cards. So we'll go. Who your 5, 6, and 7? I have the Steelers at 5, the Chargers at 6, and the Broncos at 7. I just think I have three AFC West teams. The Broncos, actually, we'll just get in like a little. I'd like everybody to kind of name theirs. So
Yeah, I'll go. I have the Broncos as well. And then I had the Jags to win the South. So I had the Texans sneaking into the playoffs as well. And then my seventh team, I talked about Rashawn Slater earlier. That kind of took a lot of the Chargers buzz away from me. It's gonna have to be kind of I want to see how Trey Pipkins plays before my hype comes back for the Chargers. So I actually have the Bengals sneaking into the playoffs out of the AFC North. I just that's kind of more of a hope than something that I think can realistically happen. But I just want to see Joe Burrow in the playoffs, so I'll try to speak it into existence.
so wait, did you say Steelers as well or no?
No, Broncos,
No
Texans,
Steelers.
Bengals. Yeah,
Broncos,
no
Texans, Bengals.
letters.
No
Yeah,
Steelers.
I
Oh
think
man.
Rodgers might be a disaster. We'll
Okay.
see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. I kind of going back on what I said earlier that the North Carnage, but I think that the bottom of the AFC, like you saw it last year, is just not that good. Um, and I think a 10-7 Bengals sneaks in as that last wild card. And then I do like the Broncos and the Steelers at the 5. So I think you'll see two North teams come out, and then the Broncos at the 6th spot. Or I don't know in that order, but what is probably going to end up happening is the Steelers will be the last spot. They'll go to Buffalo in the first round, get smoked, and then
Oh yeah, and do your overall one. Yeah, I got the Bills as my overall one.
I have the Bills as well.
likewise.
I got the Bills.
Circle the wagons.
Yeah. My division or my picks for the wild card, I'm going to go 5, the Chargers. 6, I'm going to go the Texans. And 7, this is kind of like a hope. Because I hope that you see the year 2 growth. I'm going to go with the Patriots and Drake May. I don't think it's going to happen, but I want to see it. I love Drake May. So we'll see.
That division might be bad enough to where they can go 10-7.
Mm-hmm. Their schedule is pretty
What's their-
favorable, but not. But the end of their
The Steeler fans that keep telling me like, dude, we had the franchise guy. Like, why did we let Fields walk? I want them to watch Jets games. I really do. Like those Steeler fans, they literally make me want to claw my eyes and ears out. Like, no, I'm sorry, guys. Like Justin Fields was a great guy. Probably not. He probably wasn't the savior.
I heard that he couldn't understand the playbook. That's why they went to Russ right away. Was that they apparently their playbook was cut in half because of Fields. That he had no idea how to run half the offense, and that when it would have come down to it
Who's your
in
source
December, they
for
would have
this?
my uncle.
Is he plugged in, or did he just?
People we know plenty of people that are connected.
True,
to
yeah, we
Steelers.
do. We got a lot of Steelers. I'm just
Not
making
just
sure.
making
So
that
you're,
up.
you're he's sourced here. No, I wanted more to just be like,
Well, there's a reason that Fields has not worked out at places. Like there's NFL scouts that don't like him. Like just because the average fan is like, oh, he's really fast and he threw a dot against Clemson in the playoff. Like there's a reason that he gets passed up by all these teams. He is not good.
I think his ability to pass the ball downfield is evidence enough that source might be onto something.
Yeah. Hey, Duska, you've heard this take before, and it sucks because the Rashawn Slater injury is awful to this take. But I was so high on the Chargers. Arch, that was
Me
your
too.
5 seed, right?
Yeah,
I
think
love the Chargers. Like I love them. I like Najee and Omarion Hampton. Like they're gonna run the rock.
And
Like,
Rocket
dude,
Sanders.
Yeah, and Rocket Sanders. Hey, Duska, tell me something good about Trey Pippins the third, please.
I think they'll still be able to tote. Like they have Mekhi Becton. Now they're moving a guy that was gonna play guard to tackle. So like I think they'll road grade teams. Like that's one positive. Like I mean Rashawn Slater. I think Rashawn Slater's the best player on that team. Like it's pretty brutal losing him preseason, but I think they'll still be able to run the ball effectively. So I mean it's gonna open stuff up for them
I love
offensively.
Herbert. I love
Yeah,
Herbert too.
I think they'll still be good. I don't know.
I think
It kind of
Herbert.
just deflates my optimism.
I think Herbert will get an MVP before his career is over.
Interesting.
Yeah, I really like him. Like, although the 4 picks last year is like completely heinous, like, I really like Justin Herbert. So Arch, I like that you're in on him. The Broncos just seem like that. How could they miss the playoffs? Like, they're so solid. Um, Bo Nix, J.K. Dobbins, and R.J. Harvey. That's like a decent running back duo. Their O line's awesome. Like, their O line's just awesome. Like, simply put, it's one of the best O lines in the I was about to say in the country, in the league. Um, Sean Payton, year 2, stout defense. They spent some money on that defense. Like, getting Greenlaw and getting Hufanga that's pretty big. That's a big deal. On top of like Pat Surtain and Riley Moss, who's like my favorite cornerback duo. Like, Riley Moss is an awesome cornerback number 2. Like, just plays with technique, and then like Pat Surtain, like, no, you never need to use a high safety. Like, it's just he'll just clamp all day. So he's pretty awesome. Um,
Yeah, I'm just anti Sean Payton.
are
So
you
I just don't like him. It was
as a
born
coach
that
or as a human?
both, but also because I was
What
a
do you mean? He
Falcons
hits the
fan.
ball with his sons. He's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just look up like Sean Payton likes bounties, and then
I'm kidding.
we'll discuss that from the 2010s. But no, I
Have you
don't.
seen the video of him hitting the ball?
I have not. No,
There's a video of him like taking bong rips with like his boys.
uh,
So he's
tough
chill,
scene.
Arch.
He's a chiller. That's exactly why I'm going
Dude,
against him.
it's your type of guy, Arch. Your
So
type of guy.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah. That's
So who do we have in winning the? I guess we go to winning the AFC from our picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, this is so basically the games I had was like it was the way it went out was it was Texans Steelers, like the 4 seed versus the 5. I actually think if the Steelers did draw the Texans, like they could win that game.
We beat them.
Yeah, that's the only. But if it was like if it was like Steelers Ravens or Steelers Chiefs or Steelers Bills, like kiss it goodbye, But I feel like the AFC South game, like we would have to be the 5 seed playing the 4 seed AFC South team to win a game, and then I think we'd get boat raced by the Chiefs the next round. And then I have the Chargers actually beating the Ravens. I really like the Chargers, even with the Rashawn Slater injury. But then I have the Bills beating the Chargers, the Chiefs beating the Steelers, Bills, Chiefs, and I think Josh Allen gets it done because it'll be at home in a snowy Buffalo. You turn on the
And the last
TV.
season in that stadium too. The last game ever played in that stadium will be when Allen gets over the hump against Mahomes.
Wow, that's that biblical. I mean, couldn't write it any better myself. And then I would be vindicated with my Jokic. Well, then he'd have to win the Super Bowl. But yeah, that's what I got. So somebody else chime in.
Yeah, I'm literally the same thing. I actually think that 5 seed could be very like I'm sure that like you could do damage at that 5 seed spot. Like you might would rather
You
be
play
that
the
5
AFC. You
seed.
play the AFC South.
You might rather be the 5 seed than the 3 seed. Like if you're the 3 seed, like say hypothetically if the Ravens, they have to play the Bengals as a 6. You'd rather play the I'd rather go to Houston or to Jacksonville than play the Broncos or the Bengals.
Gus, go or Arch.
Okay, I'll go. Mine's a little chalky. I have the Chiefs and Bills playing in the AFC Championship, but I have the Chiefs overcoming the Bills once again and going to the Super Bowl for whatever number of years in a row it is.
He's so inevitable.
Yeah. I think Mahomes is just the best. Any narrative that he's not the best quarterback in the NFL, like you got to beat him. You got to beat him before you take that title. So
No doubt.
I don't think it happens this year.
In my AFC Championship, I'm gonna have Bills Ravens. I think that the Bills are gonna be lucky. The way I mapped it out, the Ravens have to play the Chiefs, and the Bills don't. So I think the Ravens are gonna knock off the Chiefs because the Bills are just like immune to doing that.
Are the Ravens gonna be the 2 seed and play, and the Chiefs have to go to M&T Bank, or are the Chiefs?
I had the Chiefs dropping a game. The Chiefs dropping some games in the division to the Broncos, Chargers, and I think they could even lose to the Raiders. Like
They have a Raiders problem.
yeah, so I think
Pete Carroll's
I
I'm a
haven't
huge
been
Pete
to
Carroll
3.
guy.
So I think the Bills get the lucky draw by not having to play the Chiefs, and I just think you're gonna have 2A, 2B of the best quarterbacks in the NFL in my opinion, and Allen and Lamar going at it. So
I love that.
That'd be a spicy AFC
Oh,
championship.
can't
with a
wait.
trip to wherever the Super Bowl's at this
Santa
year.
Clara,
Yeah.
California.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
60.
that's awesome.
So I think I'm gonna have the Bills advancing, obviously.
If it's Steelers Eagles though, or Steelers Falcons, the pod will be out there. Don't worry.
Nah.
We'll get boots
We'll
on
be on
ground.
site.
Yeah, if that was the championship. Anyway, let's go into the NFC. I got the Lions, the Commanders, and the 49ers as my 5, 6, 7. And I guess I'll just go down the whole way. Lions, I already gave that. They also, huge addition with Super Bowl champ and Pitt Panther Avonte Maddox, providing that vet nickel experience. Not actually, he probably won't even play, but
He'll be a good special teamer.
yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt. Like he'll do the right things.
If he makes the team.
Yeah, I mean, he might get cut, but he's only getting paid $1 million, which is not that much in NFL terms. And then I have the Packers beating the Niners, the Rams beating the Manders, and the Bucks, the Lions beating the Bucks. Then I got Eagles beating the Lions, Pack beating the Rams. So I'm high on the Packers, I really am. And then Eagles, Packers, and I just think like the link's too much for the Packers. The link in like late January, that's gonna be I don't think there's not a single team in the NFC that like going to the link in middle
Mike
of
Duska in the
January.
crowd.
Yeah. That would just be too much. I mean, Mike Duska in the crowd and just all those fans, like, why are they booing DeJean? Have I ever told you that story, Arch and Sam?
Mm.
We were at
No.
the Eagles game last year, at the Steelers game, and every time Cooper
that.
DeJean would make like a tackle or he'd catch a punt or do something, they'd all be like, Coop. And this Eagles fan turns next to me, he's like, dude, why are they booing Cooper DeJean? It's like, you're a moron. You're such a moron. And then like all
Most
these,
intelligent Philly
dude,
fan.
yeah. And then
No, the most intelligent fan was the one next to us.
run the ball.
Yeah.
It's
Run it
to the right, to the right, run it to the right. And then they would just get
Arch, do
stuffed.
you remember
The
that girl
screen.
at the South Carolina Clemson game?
Oh,
Charlie, you were there too.
yeah.
She was like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, how
Yeah.
about the one dude? Jake Brenningschool was on it. He was coming off. He had
Oh my God.
He had 2 touchdowns so far in the ACC championship game. And Eastside's buddy was like, "Where's Brenningschool been all game? Like,
We
guy's
got
a
Brennan still
guy's a
involved.
no-show." It's like, I mean, seems like he kind of
Big
showed.
third down
yeah,
conversion,
Yeah,
couple touchdowns.
2 touchdowns, couple third down conversions. Like, all right, guess he's a no-show. I guess we just got different definitions. And then every 8-year-old at the Eagles game was just talking so much shit. Like every 8-year-old. And it's like you could get punched. Like you could get knocked
That was like
out for
not
saying that shit.
enjoyable as an opposing fan.
No, actually they were
No.
the Eagles fans were actually pretty nice to me. Like also we were just
At
getting
the bars.
murdered.
Ooh.
Oh, at the bar. Well, you were with young kids. I was with like 30-year-olds. So I had
Yeah,
a different
that's fun.
experience.
It was just like it was like I'm getting like shoved around the
Yeah.
bar. Like
I'm sure you weren't instigating at all either. I'm sure it was
No,
just
I
like
was
super
quiet
and
calm
one-sided. Like this
I'm
guy.
sure he had his AirPods in the corner. Just
I'm sure he
minding-
was just
probably had
yeah.
a book in his hand.
Yeah, because
just
Sam's
minding my own business at the
no
bar.
doubt,
God
no
forbid.
doubt, no doubt. Yeah, I'm sure.
Shoulder checking and getting.
Yeah, come on, it's our game. It's our game. That's
How
probably
about
why I
how about your cousin, Chuck? when he
Oh,
walked
yeah.
up into our session.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We was like,
I saw him at the bar before
wait.
the game. I
Wait.
saw
Tell
him-
that story, Duska.
I mean, what's his name?
Oh wait, Will was it?
Will.
So
Yeah,
my,
tell that
my
story,
cousin
yeah.
Will like goes up to see us at the Eagles game, and he comes up the stairwell, and like this Eagles fan's like, "Get the fuck out the way!" And dude, and then Will was like, "Fuck you!" And then I was like, "Yo, Will, like, come here. I'm up here." And Will's buddy just turns and looks at me and just was like, "Go fuck yourself!" Like just animosity. I was like, "Whoa, I'm Will's cousin." He's like, "Oh, my bad, bro. Just sorry." Like just innate. Like that's what needs to happen. Like you just had to motherfuck somebody. Like that's like what. But to be fair, like. The most intimidating environment you'll get in the NFL is
Yeah, it was-
probably the link. Like everybody is just the Eagles fans don't like each other. Like so it's not even like They don't, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a
Yeah,
different
that
level.
was like nothing like I've ever been to. Like of all the SEC games that we've been to, like that was just like its own little like.
Own little world. Like
Dude, I
it was
saw
honestly
Willa
like I've just felt blessed to enjoy that moment because like
that
we
weekend.
tr
That was a fun weekend.
we
Great game.
truly
Yeah, great weekend.
we truly I got like the true experience of like just hatred, vitriol that
Dude, I saw that night I was at like I walked into X Live and I'm like, "Yo, Will, what's up?" And I'm talking to him like, Charlie's here, and he's like, "What?"
yeah, well, we don't, part of the Mill family is like we're not very big on communication, but we ended up seeing each other, which was huge.
Yeah, I
So
was
that
like,
was
"You
cool.
should probably give him a call. He's going into the game soon."
Yeah, that's okay. Well, dude, the DeFilippo brothers, they know how to put down beers. I tell you what,
I'm
that's
sure. Oh, I
nothing.
know.
They know how to do that. So yeah, that was off topic, but yeah, Arch, you would love it. An Eagles Falcons game, Arch, like they might decapitate you.
We'll get it at some point, Arch.
Spoiler alert, we're getting it this year.
We'll go
I
to that
guess
game if it happens, Arch.
I'll go to so I guess that'll spoil my
Yeah.
NFC Championship. I got the Falcons versus the Eagles playing in the link, and like we did last year, the link doesn't really phase the Falcons. We'll probably go in there and beat them, and then just like walk out like nothing happened. And yeah, it's simple as that. Not really afraid of the Eagles this year, so yeah, I think the NFC is down as a whole. Like the top teams aren't. I don't know. I don't think there's
Wait,
good.
you
So
the
I think
Falcons in the Super Bowl?
no. Well, yes. You know
Yes,
what?
you
Yes,
do.
yes.
This fucker, this dude. Are you serious?
No. On a real note, I actually have the Vikings and the Eagles playing in the NFC Championship, and I have the Eagles winning. So it's Bills Eagles Super Bowl. But
I
if
have
the
Bills
made
Eagles
the
as
Super
well.
Bowl, it wouldn't be shocked. So
Who do you have winning the Super Bowl, Arch?
the Bills for the 6th straight year.
Is it in Cali? Because that's Josh Allen's from
6 straight
California.
years.
He is from the vineyards of Cali. So home
Wow,
game
that
for
could
him.
be a storyline.
Probably have like all the family there. Just like
Yep.
what
Haley
could be?
Seinfeld,
Yeah, what could be?
newlywed.
Yeah, what could be?
That could be something. That could be a ton of something. Perry.
All right, so my 3 wild cards are going to be the Lions, the Cowboys, and where'd it go? And the Niners. And then I think the Cowboys are actually going to be pretty solid this year. I think Pickens is actually going to contribute a lot for that offense. And then chalky, but it's the Birds. Like it's their division to lose or conference to lose. Like they're just so much better. They're just a class above the rest of the NFC.
Oh, I got another.
But
good...
I do think the Packers will find their way to the NFC Championship game and eventually fall to the Birds like last year in a likely splattering.
I got another good story for the Eagles game. We were on the train, like going down, and everybody's like EAGLES. And this one dude who's got like Beats headphones on, like hoodie, like just DG from Philly. And like he just like tapped me on the shoulder and he was like, "Yo, bro, you're wearing the wrong jersey." And I like laughed it off. I was like, "Yeah, I know. Like I'm from Pittsburgh. Like I get it." He was like, "No, seriously, like you're wearing the wrong jersey." And I was like, "All right, you know what? That's okay." Like I was like, "Yeah, okay." But he was he was literally like, "Yo, bro, like, no, you're wearing the wrong jersey."
Dude, a guy on the train showed me that he was strapped. He like pulls up his shirt. I'm like, dude, like
way.
We lost. We were in the hood. Like,
Average SEPTA experience.
I love the SEPTA. Deska, I love
we
that
went
experience.
to that's good. Like, where's like Temple?
Temple's is like North Philly.
Yeah, we were in North Philly.
You must have been on the subway.
Yeah, maybe
Were you
was
on the orange train?
I think it was the subway. There was a shit ton of people on it.
Somebody showed you a gun.
That's crazy.
Someone pulled up their thing like that, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Dude, it's like isn't like Temple bad? Like, isn't that?
Yeah, Temple's in a bad area. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
it was like really
I like
not fun.
On that note,
Yeah.
my wild card is actually
Yeah.
the exact same as Sam's. I have the Lions. I think the Cowboys are going to have a bounce back year as well. We talked about it earlier. I think the offense is just pretty explosive. They drafted Tyler Booker. Like I'm excited about that O-line, their ability to run the ball, and then they have 2 pretty good wide receivers. So I think they take a step up. And then the 49ers, I think, are going to sneak in as the second team out of the West to make the playoffs. And then in my NFC Championship game, it's actually the same as Arch. I have the Vikings and the Eagles, with the Eagles winning that game at home and setting up the Super Bowl nobody wants to ever see again. The Chiefs and the Eagles. And then I have the Eagles beating the Chiefs again in the trilogy, Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara, hoisting Lombardi again, third in franchise history. Jalen Hurts solidifies himself as a Hall of Famer, top 4, top 3 quarterback of this generation. And then everything will be nice and copacetic after that.
First off, great word of the day, copacetic. Second, Jalen Hurts probably can't do anything to be the third best quarterback in this generation.
2 Super Bowls.
Mahomes and Allen die, and then their legacy is erased. That's probably the only way.
Super Bowls, though.
Wins is a QB stat. It's a whole other debate.
But no, I do like Jalen Hurts.
In the case of Jalen Hurts, wins is a QB stat, Arch. And you should know that.
Yes, of course. How could I forget?
You ever seen a running back win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, every year. Every year one usually God, who've been some in the past? Saquon, Hurts, Pacheco. I mean, every year one of them usually wins. It's been rare for a team to not have a running back. Some just have them playing the position that distributes the football.
Any other storylines we're watching this year?
I have one bold prediction as well.
Nice, yes.
For MVP. This one's pretty homer as well. I'm kind of on a homer streak. I think Saquon Barkley becomes the second back ever to. Oh, do you think I was going to say Jalen Hurts?
I was ready.
Yeah, no, I'm not going there.
So
I won't go there.
I was like,
I think he becomes the first back to ever rush for 2,000 yards in consecutive seasons, and that's the thing that'll get him over the hump to take the quarterback award away from the quarterbacks, and I think he'll be the NFL MVP this year.
That's not hateful. I actually somewhat like that, which is shocking when you said bold prediction and homer. So I'll go with that. I guess if I'll have a bold prediction, I think the Commanders will go like 5-12 or like 6-11. Wow. But I don't think that's with. Wow. I think that's not with Jane Daniels completely like falling off a cliff production wise. I think it was like the combination of everything we said earlier. I mean, they had like 38-year-old Bobby Wagner as like the guy, the quarterback
charity
of the
All-Pro.
defense.
The most charity All-Pro of all time.
It's not happening again, and I think there'll definitely be some struggles, especially with Dan Quinn, who's notoriously bad at coaching decisions, and then last year like aced it, which is like that doesn't happen year to year. Like that's not a thing that's like you're gonna like fix overnight. So that's why I'm gonna go with that'll be my bold prediction.
Okay,
you took mine. Yep, I have 6-11, missing the playoffs.
Wow. And I also think that's with the Cowboys doing really good
DC.
too.
They built a new stadium. They're all in. This year goes bad, and they freak out. That's my prediction. Also, on the Commanders note, like we were talking about Cliff Kingsbury earlier. How fun would it be to just like have dinner with Cliff Kingsbury and just like hear his stories from being with Johnny? Yeah.
That'd be something.
Like he was like, I didn't give a shit what Johnny did. Like,
I mean,
I wonder how much he like actually like covered up. Like, I think that'd be like a very interesting conversation to have with him.
Couple cocktails in.
He definitely pounds beers.
I mean,
any Josh Harris failures is a good thing as well. I'm not a huge Josh Harris guy.
No, that stadium he built or he owns. Not built, but owns and operates at FedEx Field is garbage.
Oh my god,
that was the worst stadium I've ever been to.
Is that the worst stadium in the world?
It's terrible. I've been there like 4 times. It's gotten worse every time.
I can't believe it took us 1 hour to move 15
We missed the flyover. I'll never forgive Josh Harris for that.
And that's
he has nothing to do with it, but I'll never forgive him.
Well, no. Operationally, like let's get lines, let's have different gates open, like just a failure of operations. We need employees that care more. Like, and then like Trump being there also sucked because then like all the security and all that.
Dude.
Like, oh my
That
God.
was just a terrible experience.
Oh well, not the whole experience.
Well, yeah, after that was awesome. Probably
Yeah.
the best game ever. But
Yeah.
These are also, I think those are more like, I mean, I don't like Josh Harris, but those are more like Dan Snyder. Like that was such a poorly run franchise for so long. Like
Yeah, dude,
they're just sad.
going to games that Trump is at is not fun because of how amped up the security is. Like I went to a Steeler game last year when Trump was there, and he sat like right behind us, and it was ass because anytime you stood up, they like it was awful. There was security guards everywhere. Like you had to get scanned in and out every time you walked out of your seat. It was terrible.
That stinks.
I had to turn my video
And
off.
people the whole time are like standing up staring at it. It's like 3rd and 3, and you got like 5 people in front of us, like, oh my God, it's Trump. Like, dude, like it's 3rd down. Give a fuck about
Big
Trump.
3rd down right here. Yeah. Also, hey, one more experience that I'd like to have at some point in my life is watching a football game at wherever we watched that game in Athens, Arch.
Oh my
Palmer
gosh, I love that place.
Scenes,
Arch,
scenes,
love that
Was that
place.
is that the place that I was at, Arch?
No, that was the Blind Pig. That place is awesome though. This place is called Paloma, and it's got like a big outside TV, and it's like Sundays it was like dollar wings, and it was like $6 pitchers of domestic light beer. I mean, and then buckets were like $8.
We might have to go back to Athens for championship weekend just
the
for that.
biggest screen you've ever
I'll
seen.
drive. I'll drive up there. and We'll get a hotel for the night.
Yeah.
There's some pretty
Just to
sweet
go to that
bars like
bar.
here.
Like, oh my God, I might have my bachelor party there. Like,
We were there for like
I would go
8.
back.
We were there for like 8 hours. It was
So we
absurd.
watched both of games there.
We put an absolute shift in.
how about and then the Eagles fans like Desheen. Oh, that
Oh,
was
that was
so
bad.
funny.
Trooper DeJean cosplay.
Yeah. Remember
Yeah.
the fight that almost ensued, like with the Commanders fans and like the
Yeah.
Philly kids?
And
Like,
then the guy said that he played for Georgia and he was the punter. And then the DeJean
Yeah,
guy was
that kid was
I can't get
terrible.
over DeJean getting
Oh
a
my-
pick and the guy pointing at the back of his jersey like he
oh
was DeJean.
yeah,
Remember the Bills fan group too?
yeah.
And then I was like,
yeah.
go Bills. And they were like,
They were just depressed after the game.
yeah.
Yeah.
I said, go Bills. And they just like looked and were like, and then just like, yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always next year.
I think it's a big year for the Bills. Anything else before we get out of here?
Yeah, quick. Who is one player you are drafting in fantasy
Ooh.
that's not like an obvious one?
I might draft Ricky Pearsall now that I've heard once Arch started waxing poetically about Ricky Pearsall. I'm kind of fired up about that.
You're banking on no gun violence injuries, but I think and that's tough in San Francisco, but I think it's a safe bet. I'm gonna go. I guess people are gonna draft him, but I'm gonna draft him higher than I think most people would. Colston Loveland, I think, is gonna have an explosion with the Bears. He's going to be his Ben Johnson, Sam Laporta, and Kmet is basically done. Like all camp, and even at the start of camp, Kmet was a 2. I think Loveland's going to be his tight end and also gadget guy.
Mhm.
But not like the DJ Moore gadget. I think he'll be like the gadget, like tight end guy, like he used with Laporta. So I think he'll have a great year. A lot of catches and targets too.
Wide
Mine's
receiver.
Tyler Warren.
Oh, you go. Oh, Tyler Warren. Okay.
Yeah, I just think that I'm a big advocate of like when teams use high draft capital on a skill position like that, they're going to use him in the offense. And just like pure volume wise, I think he'll be a solid fantasy tight end and could give you that would be a good for our dynasty league listeners. That could be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I guess dynasty league wise, my pick would also work. It's not going to be probably a league winner this year. It could be though. Is if Jalen McMillan is hurt for a while for the Bucks, I really like Emeka Egbuka. So always those also just any rookie wide receiver. It's great value late. Like you can get Emeka Egbuka, Matthew Golden.
I think Adunze he's not a rookie, but he's a good. He's a good
like
sleeper this year.
I mean,
Roman Wilson could be interesting.
no, yeah, I mean, true, but I think he's like a lesser tier just because I don't think he's as good as the other guys.
He played well last night.
True. But I mean, my cousin's grandpa, I talked to him today, or actually not even my cousin's grandpa. One of my grandpa's friends at church today was like, Man, if we just gave Mason Rudolph a chance, he could have been our franchise guy. And I was like, dude, one preseason game, 2 drives from Mason Rudolph, and we're ready to say like, oh wow, like
Did you
he's
see him yesterday? He was bad yesterday.
well, I mean, Lenny, my guy, thought he was amazing. He was like, that's literally our franchise quarterback. Like Lenny, I'm sorry, Mason Rudolph.
Pittsburgh people love Mason because
He's like
Mason.
He's Big Ben,
Yeah,
just way
except Big
worse.
Ben refused to help him at all.
Yeah, I mean, well, the Big Ben thing. Steelers are just forever just in quarterback purgatory. So should be fun to I think as this podcast moves forward, we'll do especially during like the college football season, a lot of college football stuff. NFL stuff, like it's a longer season. So
We
if
can
Nick,
dive into that late in the
yeah,
season.
so
Yeah, I don't
like
think anybody wants to hear Archer's week 2 thoughts in the NFL.
Yeah,
no, like I literally I don't want to hear
I don't
my
even want to hear my
yeah,
own.
I don't want to
so.
hear my own week. I don't want to have to
If we
actually
want to sprinkle something into like just sprinkle in segments and like if we're
yeah.
talking college football, like that's fine. But
Yep.
But, I
So
mean, our listeners better be ready. We got a jam-packed show next week.
Mhm.
what's on the docket, Sam? Tell everybody.
Well, I mean, it's a preview for week 1.
Week
We're
1
back.
preview, week 0 recap and thoughts.
Wow.
Here we go.
That's gonna be something. I do
No matter how
severely
bad,
enjoy college football.
no matter how bad your week is, we got game Saturday, baby.
No doubt.
Armageddon in Dublin.
Wow.
Sadly,
Yeah.
No doubt.
So, but
we get McAfee spewing at 8 a.m. Eastern or West or Central Time. College game day's back.
Let's have a great year.
yeah, let's do it, fellas. Thanks for stopping by. We're gonna stop
Yeah.
this recording in 3, 2, 1.